Hello.
Hello. This is Bamgud.
This is, I already forgot his name. Dagonyang. Dagonyang?
Yeah, nyang. Like
Because
cat.
cat.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
It's good
been
to
a while.
see you.
It's good to see you.
I mean, to them, it hasn't felt like any time has passed at all.
but a lot of time has passed.
But a lot of time has passed.
11
for us.
weeks have passed.
11 whole weeks. Yeah.
Would you like to tell the girls what this
we've
is all
been up
about?
to?
Yeah. Because no one's heard or seen from us in 11 weeks.
It's true. We've been absent.
Because in this timeline, the Patreon only shows, the last time they saw us was talking about Love is Like a Cat. And a lot has happened since Love is Like a Cat.
A lot has happened since Love is Like a Cat. Really, we kind of fostered a whole, revolution from that show.
Yeah.
A lot of changes happened.
A lot of changes happened.
After we dropped our recap episode.
Yes.
So we can only assume something's going to happen after this peak time recap.
After this peak time recap.
So for the past 11 weeks, we watched on our Patreon Peak Time.
Peak time.
All 11 episodes.
11 episodes. You can check it out right here.
Check it out right there. We had a great time.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Everybody had said like Peak Time was great even when Boys Planet was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, it's Peak Time being good or allegedly being good while Boys Planet was happening was
Right.
my impetus to be like, we should do Fantasy Boys because it will also be good.
Yes. If these two survival shows are happening right now and they're both good, that means this one is also good.
It means they're all good.
Yeah.
They're batting 1,000 as far as I know.
Yeah.
So anyway, this was good.
Yeah. And that's the recap.
And that's the recap. Thank you so much for watching. No, we're going to talk about
The full show in detail.
show in some detail.
In some detail, broad strokes, but like highlighting some killing points.
Then we'll do our top 10 performances.
Top 10 performances.
Okay.
But first,
Peak Time is a competition-based survival program from South Korea in which 23 groups compete in anonymity to be the winner of a show. These 23 groups are spread into either rookie groups, so groups that are just now debuting basically, groups that have been established for a little while but need like a kickstart to their career.
yeah.
And older groups who have maybe disbanded and are coming back
Want to
to
rebirth.
rebirth.
Yeah.
There is a 24th group that is comprised of soloists that are joined together by the producers or the judges of the show. They compete in a series of challenges over the course of
Missions?
6 months.
6 months.
To compete
Crazy.
for what ends up being, it was basically like $250,000 is
Yeah.
how, or $350,000 I think is what
Yeah.
it amounted. A tour.
A tour. 2 times tour. A tour for the winner. Like a
tour for the winner.
Like a concert for the winner.
Yeah,
Like a fan meet type concert.
right.
And then a tour for the top 6.
Just around Korea.
Yeah.
Or I think they did a couple shows in like Japan too.
and Taiwan.
I think there was something else. They also got original songs.
An album.
And
Or
an album.
a comeback, basically.
Gone back, yeah.
So that's a lot. I mean,
It's huge.
knowing just from like the Nugu that we listen to, it takes a lot.
The Nugu that we listen to.
A lot of resources to
Gorgeous.
even just do one music video.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of
money.
resources.
It's a lot of
It's a lot of
resources.
capital that
Yeah.
has to go into doing all that. So, I think what's fascinating was that good? There's
I think
8
so.
judges.
8 judges, and they represent a letter of peak time.
Peak
And
time
so
is
a
8
lot
letters.
of the missions, they have to get like a majority of like them picking them. It's The Voice, kind of.
It's kind of like The Voice, but they
or
can
kind
see
of like
them.
America's Got Talent.
Yeah. Our number 1 judge is Tiffany. Obviously, please be serious.
Please be serious. Is Jay Park, a complicated fave maybe? Ryan June, maybe complicated fave. But they do some.
If you go and watch our Patreon, I literally in the first episode yell at Ryan June for like 5 minutes.
Yes, because he like berates ATBO.
He believes his thoughts fully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jay Park, he loves singing about fat asses.
I'm gonna be he does.
But
as someone with a fat ass,
you're so stupid.
I was called Slim Thick recently by someone very near and dear.
Yeah.
Jay Park, I will say, was not expecting him to give critiques that I found valuable, and
totally.
Yet his comments were very helpful, I think.
Yes, to everyone.
That was kind of all over.
It was kind of a shock.
The whole thing, I think everyone had a very good. There was like not the kind of Mnet judging, which is just like vibes based and like seems to. The goalposts keep moving every time.
Right.
This felt like it was like tangible critique that they could like use and actually advance
very
what they
practical
were trying to
because they also know whatever happens here, if they don't make it far, they're going to use what we tell them.
Right.
To like make their comebacks better.
Right.
I think when we get to one particular group that doesn't make top 6, we can address
girl.
How scandalous the show has been. And then we'll talk about top 6 and we'll do our top 10 songs. Top 10 performances.
Okay.
Number 1 is Dignity.
Okay.
Honey. Luo is a member of Dignity. He's the leader.
This is this one. Okay, yes.
When he first came out, I was like, he's got a BL face. What is going on?
BL face.
There is a tie. And you know what? After watching it now, it's PP. That I'm
a
like,
little bit.
oh,
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
It's like the PP lips, the PP aura. But I was like, that's a Thai BL actor.
Yeah.
And then you find out that he was the mangne of group 7. 7 o'clock. Clark.
Which we find out is called Mask.
Yes, a group called Mask. That we were like,
oh.
Okay, Luo is also Chaungi's friend. Because when Dignity had a last comeback.
Do we know this? Did you talk about this?
Yeah. When Dignity had their last comeback, Eungi was like, support my friend Luo. Blah, 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 blah. He did the challenge with them. Da, 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 da. So
I like
sowing the seeds of
friendships
love,
blossom and bloom.
Absolutely. In bloom. Everyone has their own story, right?
Yeah.
Every group has their own story. So it was kind of cool. Mask was going to go in as their own group, but Luo had already just debuted in this new group. So like that's when the 2 members of 7 o'clock, Heejay and Ire, they were like, well, let's just us 2 do it.
Which is a bold choice.
Yeah. Totally. And then Luo as Dignity like led their group. So there's these very sweet moments of like reminiscing of all of them being in the same group again, and they wish that they could have all done it together.
This is okay, here's my one thing. The concept of being like you're just your hour, right? Because we want to keep this anonymous.
You guys see for the talent.
It's a cool idea.
The
anonymousness of it. The problem is that like you forget what number is what, because the numbers are completely arbitrary, right? Like it doesn't mean anything. It's just an hour of the 24-hour day.
I almost wish that they were like they picked a keyword or something.
Well, and also like once they're on screen, people are going to know, like people are gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
It's weird to be like, and now we're just gonna pretend like they don't have a group name. And it's like, well, of course they'll have group names. And of course their fans have figured out who it is and that they're on the show.
They're watching them.
Right. Like I get that the idea is like, we're really going to separate them from their fandom to let it be like you're gonna watch the show and not think about that, but like that's just not how any of this works. Like that's a great idea if like every group was a rookie group, but like that's not what's happening. So like I don't have a lot of critiques with this show, to be clear. Like I think this is really successful, and I think it's because it's thought through really well.
Yes, there's a point of view,
but that's like my biggest. Probably my biggest complaint was that it was like, I don't know who anyone is.
Because I feel like...
And there's so many people.
For the people that were watching it live, you're just going to be like, oh yeah, that's Dakabi. That's
Right.
BA 173. Like
Right.
I just know them already. That's
Right.
hangyul. I know him.
Right.
So I'm just kind of like going off of that.
One thing that I think is really interesting that I don't think the show intended, but like just was a happenstance of kind of where we were at in like the year, was that like while we have 3 different groups, we have rookie idols, we have kind of established need a kickstart, we have people who have disbanded and want to come back to the scene. Because of the pandemic, they all are kind of like starting at the same place, which I think is really interesting because
totally.
like if you think about it, the show happens in 2023, and while we were, somewhat back to normal or getting there, I should say, when they audition on the show, it's like 2022.
Yeah.
So for a lot of them, they haven't performed in front of people.
No.
Even the people who are current idols haven't
Right.
performed in front of fans in a while.
Years, yeah.
So they're all kind of at the same place, which I do think like equalizes them in a very specific way, which is really cool. My guess is that they weren't conscientiously thinking like, oh, let's do this kind of show now to like capitalize on that, but it just like happened to work out that way. Yeah. Let's talk about 23 o'clock.
23 o'clock. Yes, a group that didn't make top 6, but they made it to top 10. Team 23, which we never knew their name because they were
What is their name? What is it? Ascent, or
The
is that their
Boss.
new name? Oh, okay. So
Ascent is now their new name. They've re-debuted. They added 2 members.
Okay.
We knew Karam because he was Chakanim in
Happy Endings Romance.
Happy Ending Romance. Great job in the BL.
Sure. Quiet
Quiet as a mouse. That was his whole character.
Yeah.
And then he opened his fucking mouth on stage. And I was like, where the fuck?
I want to say genuinely, I rewatched all of the performances yesterday and today.
Probably one of the best voices in the show.
It's him and Heejay.
Totally.
Have the 2 best voices in the show. If he was not in 23 o'clock, they would not have made it as far as they did.
Yeah,
and I don't mean that to denigrate like their talent at all.
Yeah, I think they're also good, but he is the secret sauce.
He is so winsome. Oh my God.
The voice, they do Melodic, which is like already literally a beloved song in the nation of Korea.
A literal classic.
A literal classic, and just nails it perfectly.
The melodic performance, the Shine performance, the Chamomile performance. I mean, like the Chamomile performance.
That was.
And we will talk about it.
That was probably my favorite song in the original song mission.
Easily.
Yeah.
No joke.
Genuinely a good song, and then just overemphasized by how good all 3 of them were.
Can I say my favorite aspect of the show though? So in round 3, basically, even though I think it's
the units.
The units. So technically round
it's like 2B.
So in the 3rd round of songs that are performed on the show, they have broken up all the groups into 4 big teams. From there, they split into 3 different departments of like
BL, dating show, and survival show.
Right, they follow our format. So they have rap line, vocal line, and dance line. And all 12 of those numbers that are performed are like good to great.
Good to great.
It is like probably the most consistently good episodes of survival shows I've ever seen in a row. Where I was just like, wow, I don't have to worry.
Just from the aspect that all the performances were good at worst.
But even like, we went through all of them.
Yeah.
I watched the ones that didn't even make it to broadcast.
Yeah.
And there were bad performances.
Yeah.
Like we can decisively say that.
Yeah.
But the show, because they are not operating on the like you have a week to learn it timeline,
they all have weeks
and weeks to learn this stuff, and so it feels so like not perfect, right? But like it feels like it's as good as they're going to get it. There's nothing where I'm like, well, I'm gonna grade on a curve because I know they had so little time to do this. Like I'm watching them really nail this stuff, and it is really, it changes your enjoyment of the show because you're not sitting there worried. The storyline of the show is not like, what's the drama getting there? Like it's like there's one kind of drama with Peak Time, and it was like two of the rappers just like rubbed each other the wrong way, and that's literally
that was like the
it.
only kind of conflict. Everything else was like,
And then he left the show.
and then he left the show because he had bullying allegations.
Because he had bullying allegations that were ended up being unsubstantiated.
He had allegations that were like not real,
Not true.
He like sued them,
Which happens way more often than it should.
Back to 23 o'clock because they were unceremoniously kicked out and was forced to do a public apology for like putting everyone, the production, whatever. Just this like self-flagellation that means absolutely nothing. I'm not even going to go into it because it doesn't even fucking matter. No.
You can look it up if you need to.
Just look it up, but it's not
stupid.
It was so stupid because I wish they didn't have to do all of that. They could have just like 23 o'clock was removed from the competition.
Right.
Title card, that's it.
I mean, I still would have been upset because I think it's shitty. It's the like fact that they made them go up and apologize in front of everyone and put it on camera. So it was like, see, we did the right thing. We taught these boys a lesson. It's like, these are 30-year-old men. You're
adults.
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Please calm down. I mean, even if they were 22-year-olds, it would still be insane.
Yeah.
But like there is a level of like that's the idleness coming through the like you are supposed to be perfect.
Yeah.
I would not say that being friends with someone changes the idleness of someone else, but
or like being in a relationship with someone.
It's the exhausting part.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, that really sucked. It like because the show was doing so well and we really liked it that all of a sudden it was like, oh, I'm all of a sudden reminded of like
it leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh, these are I don't know.
It doesn't feel like a coming from a genuine place of being like
when the whole show has been genuine. To like we're really trying to help them.
Right. And that's one of my favorite parts of the show.
Yeah.
To go back to the other side is like the show is this like stepping stool for people, and it you really feel that from all these groups that they really think this is their chance to finally get to the next stage of their career.
Yeah.
And it is really, I mean, you hear these stories, you know, the groups that were unceremoniously disbanded like out of nowhere. That's 15 o'clock.
15 o'clock. They literally were just like got an email that like it's all done. One of the members had to post
on the fan cafe,
on their own fan cafe, that they have disbanded.
It's insane. It's horrible. You have the winner of the show, Vanner, who they get a whole. I mean, they're gunned from the beginning as like very early favorites, obviously, but they have this incredible package where you watch them like. They're all just part-time job employees.
And then at night, we'll practice together.
Yes.
To try and put music out.
Just try and do it. And if you go back and you look at like Vanner's sales pre-peak time, it's like they sold 12 albums. And it's insane.
Yeah.
This is what the show was built to do.
Yes,
and
totally.
It is, as much as there is conversation in Western media of like, the machine of it all.
Yeah.
And I do understand that there is an aspect of this that is like it is an industry, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not this organic thing that like just sprung up out of nowhere. Like there's very specific choices and reasons they do things in like a set kind of way to do everything. That's all true.
Yeah.
I don't love the machine conversation because I think this happens to East Asian stuff a lot. Is that like it's
a little coded.
Feels very robotic.
Yes, yeah.
So I don't like. That's why I don't like using that language. But it is an industry.
Yeah.
But at the heart of the industry, or at least the performers of the industry, a wide majority of them want to do this.
This is what they want to do. This is their dream and their passion.
Even if you know, some of them I think go into this because they see it as a stepping stone to maybe being an actor one day, which is like a more prestigious
or just
career.
Want the stardom.
Right. It's still not, it doesn't feel like they are treating this as if it's easy or that they just like deserve it.
Yeah.
Even the groups in the beginning who don't have a great first round and get sent home, it's not that they don't care. That's like, to me, that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
And so it was really nice being like, the show is purposefully trying to reward people who are struggling but want to do this because they want to do it.
This is their calling.
Right. Yeah. And I understand there's entertainment labels involved. There's companies.
The politics.
Right? I understand that. But it does... It was nice in that regard. That was like a really
just to
great
really
aspect of
see
the
the
show.
heart of the people.
Yep.
And not in a way like trainees where it's like just to try and get to debut.
Right.
It's people who are like, I've done it.
Have debuted.
I did that. I did the hard work
They
of training.
did the thing that every group who's ever debuted is like the actual hard part is after debut.
Is after.
How you have to just keep going. You can't stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2:00 NTX.
Skirt.
Skirt.
Mm-hmm.
Skirt.
And not skirt.
Not skirt. Not a skirt.
Over the
pants. Over the skirt.
With the pants over the
But
skirt.
skirt. They came in with like such power. They sang No Mercy. A song.
No mercy.
A song that Moon Jongeup performed. Because
Yes.
they sang BAP. And they were like, oh, fuck. They do a really good job. I think all of the like I said, no one has a bad performance after that first survival round. It's just like who has a little bit more to give on stage that like makes them pop and stand out.
Right.
And although they have like a lot of energy and a lot of passion, they are a group that I think feel the weight of the pressure of the show because I feel like their judging was never like amazing, but like the judges were like, but we know that we see how how
their
energetic-
energy is unmatched. It's
like
crazy.
they are like just like guys that want to do this.
Yeah.
So they get like the one producer pick, basically, like the main producer pick that gets them to the top 10 after the first 2 rounds. That incorporates all of the voting for the very first time.
Yep.
And the judges save them, and one of like the most emotional like results announcements I've ever seen. Like their leader Yoon Hyuk like just bursts. And he was like, we didn't win any benefits leading up to this elimination. So we didn't think this was even going to happen. Here's a picture of him, by the way, if you needed a reminder.
Are you going to show that one?
Give a shout out to one of my favorite discoveries in peak time, which is 14 o'clock. Ghost 9 for the girlies.
Oh, yep. Anybody specific or the whole group?
Well, actually, I would say like there are 4 members that I like immediately like was drawn to, but literally watching Peak Time, discovering Ghost 9, they just had their anniversary. I literally DM'd our friend who lives in Korea and I was like, they are having their anniversary pop up. Can you go and just sweep everything for me?
You did, didn't you?
Everything. I fell in love.
You're a ghosty?
I'm a ghosty. Yeah.
That's their fandom name, right?
think so.
I think
I don't
so. I think it's ghosty.
I fell in love with a bear, Adam.
Okay.
When his massive jugs burst out on stage,
Okay.
my life changed.
Is that it? Oh, I didn't know if you were going to keep going. I'm waiting. Let me know when I can.
Something changed within me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Something is not the same.
Something was not the same.
You're through with playing by the rules. Someone else.
But there was another story in this group. Taehwan from Vanner is like also one of the most beloved singers of the show.
Yes. Well, we know. Obviously, we covered him on Build Up.
That's true. And there was a member. They had a member in Ghost 9, Jinu, who was like during their little summer camp section of the show.
Yeah.
He was like goo eyes for Taehwan, and was like,
Taewan's voice is genuinely so crazy.
Totally.
It's crazy because so Build Up was a show that was all about voices.
All about voices.
So it's very hard to stand out.
Yes.
Because everyone voice was great.
Yes, exactly. Seeing him here where it's just like a collection.
And bitsaeon.
Yes.
From Mont, who's 20 o'clock.
Yeah.
It was like, thank God I watched this because I felt like I could fully experience like
how
obviously
amazing
they did incredible work in Build Up.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to take that away at all, but like
Taewon did a good job in Build Up. I think
very good. Obviously Bitsaeon won. So great. But yeah.
Yeah. But Jinu was like goo eyes for Taewon and was just like, are you going to sing this song? Oh my God. Like, That's my song.
I would sing all the time if I would sing. I would never not be singing. I would sing every single thing I had to do. I would be at the DMV singing my, like, I have a license registration I need to do. You know what I mean?
I have a license and registration.
Ugh. It's crazy.
Yeah. But that's what I liked about the show is that they were all able to kind of like fan over one another.
Yes. And the show is not busy trying to have
it's like not
tell
competitive.
the audience how to vote.
Even though it's a competition, it never felt like they were like competing with one another. I don't know, like they all had goodwill for one another. They were obviously like upset if they didn't make it through or like wish they could do better.
Yeah.
But like there was so much like support.
There's no animosity on the show.
Yes, because they're all, like you said, they're all
right.
They're all in the same
Which kind of goes
place.
against everything that RJ and I have talked about before on survival shows where we're like, well, we live for the television.
We live for
of it
the
all.
drama.
And I will say, it is not, this is like kind of middling in between like And Audition and like Island.
Yeah.
So And Audition is like kind of the nicest show I've ever watched.
Yes.
Whereas Island is like truly tried to break teenage boys into pieces.
Yes.
This is kind of more on the like And Audition end of things.
Yes. But also they don't need to be broken down. They don't need to break each other down anymore because it's not like they're fighting for a spot.
Because there's a little bit of the show that's like it's supposed to be inspiring.
Yes. And if we don't do well here, at least we all were able to get fans through the show, honestly.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this project group, 24 o'clock.
Let's talk about 24 o'clock.
It's 24 o'clock because
5 to 4 members.
5 started with 5, we already talked about it, and then ended with 4.
Mm-hmm.
And it ended up becoming like they had to adjust mid practice for round 3-ish. Hido, who we kept calling Namjoon's brother because he looks like like a Namjoon family member, and like a great rapper, just like very had a lot of presence. Gon, who was like a vocalista.
Gon is so fucking
She's so
beautiful.
fucking beautiful.
I can't.
Yeah, she was so pretty.
Okay, that's all. It's just
like,
it's crazy.
Yeah. There are a lot of crazy visuals here. Ichan from DKB, that I was like,
oh yes.
You look like if Plav was a real person. Like you look AI.
Yep.
It was kind of crazy.
Yep.
And Luo, we've already talked about the Taibyeon. Byungju, the little short king. He auditioned with 4 Walls, which
say that
diva. He flashed his abs in the finale, and we were gooped.
Gagged.
Gooped and gagged. And a literal deity.
The most famous person there. Yeah.
Moon Jongeup, member of BAP. Every time he performed was like amazing.
Can I say, genuinely, he is incredible. Can I say this though? I do not think his best performance is in the unit dance. I think it's Good Boy Gone Bad.
Oh, interesting. Because that was the critique there was like, you guys are all individual. You're not a group together yet.
Yes.
Which I think is our problem.
Very valid.
Which I think
for the number.
Which I think was our...
But for him,
he shined. Ooh. But that was our big thing with 24 o'clock. They had their own
group. I mean, it's impossible to be against people who have been
established
years.
Groups. Yes.
And then you're like, we just met 10 and a half minutes ago.
Literally, we didn't know who was going to be in this.
Right, of course.
They won their own mini survival show in one episode.
Right.
And then now you had to be like a group.
Right. But even though the show created this group, you would think that the show is like going to push the group. That the show is going to be produced in a way in which it's like, no, we're going to make the money from these people if they win. No. So we're going to push them really hard. It was just for
the show.
They do go to the end, and they do have a chance of winning. I'm not going to say that they didn't. But it doesn't feel like they got there because the show was making this narrative for them.
Yeah. I almost kind of wish that they just formed the group. Like, didn't do the weird audition in the survival round. I wish they the producers, all of those people that picked the MVPs.
Right. Mont.
Listen.
Okay, listen. I'm going to say this about Mont. I think all of their performances are good, and most of them are great.
Yeah.
They came into this competition with 2 members
Because one is in the army.
because one was in the army. Famously, Mon is a three-person group. 1 rapper and one singer.
vocalist. Yep.
And it's not even like, oh, I'm a rapper who also sings. I'm an ace. I do it all. Nope.
Bit sings,
I rap.
Rhoda raps.
That's it. Everybody has their lane.
Yeah.
There are union rules.
Yes.
We stick to our lane.
Yes.
For that, I think their first 2 performances are really good because they ended up with things that really suited
worked
that.
for them.
A really good rap
Yes.
line part and
Yeah.
a really good vocal part. And it felt equal.
Totally.
The last
ones, because they were like, you get assigned a song, basically.
Correct.
It like the third one felt so heavy on bit.
It's so
That, like,
crazy.
In the finale, I think does a lot better because Rhoda gets to sing a little bit more, but
Yeah.
it's still very much like it's still uneven. So I think they knew that was going to be their handicap.
Yeah.
Because even like at the end, I mean, like when they make it to top 6, like they're genuinely surprised. I really didn't think they were going to make it.
Well, they wouldn't have made
They
it.
wouldn't have made it
Because 23 o'clock would have
Karan
made
would
it.
have made it. Yeah. But I think they were kind of just like, I think they still do a really good job. And like the way they perform on stage is like electric.
Yeah.
Their whole story was like, we've never really hit it in Korea, like, but people in South America, people in Europe, like
India,
they go crazy.
Yeah.
And so we've been on tour multiple times.
Yeah. And you can tell,
And you
it's
can
very
tell,
clear that they have
literally,
performed in front
when
of
they
people
performed
before.
Fever, it was
because
like
they feel comfortable on stage.
they are 2 people, but they filled up that entire stage.
150%.
Which a lot of the groups in the survival round, even though they have 5-6 members, they were like, it feels like you're apologizing
Yeah.
that you're performing.
Yeah.
And obviously
That's something you just have to learn.
you have to shake that off, obviously, if you're like, we've never performed in like years or whatever. But yeah, I just thought I'm so happy that we saw this and like just could get a better understanding of Mont because
Totally.
even like obviously we saw it in build up, right? We saw bitsaeon's like presence, but I don't know. I just to be able to see
he's my dear friend.
yes, yeah. I mean, he's
Yeah, and he's incredible. He's incredible. He's incredible.
yeah.
As people who've seen him live, he's incredible. Genuinely. Bay 173.
Bay 173, BAE 173.
hangyul.
So when they first came out, I was like, oh, I recognize that one. I recognize hangyul right away.
You knew him?
Not even from Produce.
From TikTok?
Just from his TikTok videos of him in his gray sweatpants.
Wait, that was hangyul?
That's
That was
hangyul,
so
girl.
long ago
I
when
know,
you
that
talked
was so
about
long
this.
ago. He went viral for his dance practice videos wearing gray sweatpants and hangyul, honey.
You're out of control. Ooh.
Put that away, put that away, put that away.
I
put that away.
see.
Yes. So I was like, oh, I know him.
He's so fucking good, though.
Truly. And he kind of has like a boy next door face. Like his face is like, his features are not striking, but they're so handsome. And you're like, that's the guy that I feel like I would know from my neighborhood that like he's the hot hometown guy. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, he's not gone.
No, he's not gone.
He's not model
He's
hot.
not Ichan.
But he's very sexy.
Yeah.
And when he was like, yeah, I just have really big thighs, I was like, why would you make me think about that? Yeah. Do you know how frustrating it is in that final episode when they're like, when the CEO of Pocket Doll is like, if you guys win, I'm going to double the one that you're given. I'm
matching it. Like a charitable match.
Right.
Charitable donation.
Like it's a 401k. I'm
like
going to match
Bill
it.
and Melinda Gates Foundation is matching your donation.
Right. Fine.
Then they were like,
and I'll move you out of these dorms into better dorms.
You should just do that.
Our listener, viewer, would you like to know what BAE 173 is doing next? They've been split into two upcoming
different
survival shows.
competing individually. So it sucks because their whole narrative
so
also was
frustrating.
like, we worked really hard, blah blah blah. We practice, like we constantly practice, da 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 da. And like, even though sometimes we may not get all the help that we need, we like stay up and blah blah blah. And I'm like, they should get the help they need. What do you mean you're just like, you're not getting any help from your company to rehearse and practice?
How
Like,
many of these companies are money laundering schemes? Like, how many of them? I really need to know. Where is the money going? Where is it going?
Because I feel bad for them because they do really good.
They're
in the
really
show.
good on the show.
They were in the set, basically in the before the first elimination. They were number one.
Yeah.
With
They
all the
beat
benefits
Vanner in
and
the
stuff.
first-
They beat Vanner.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel really bad. And I can't believe they're all in new survival shows again.
I'm gonna be ill thinking about it. This is like hangyul's like fourth, fifth show, and not in a fun like Tiffany Pollard has been on 100 reality shows.
She's on House of Villains too because
Right.
she is the villain.
Right, not in that way.
Not in that way. In a
way where
they
it's
won't-
like they're on a pirate ship and somebody's like walk
because
the
this
plank.
company just won't let them actually work. So they're like, well, let's just run
So
you.
I have made. We're going over the next 4 Mondays,
Mm-hmm.
of the next 4 following Mondays. We're going to see what these top 6 groups that have released music since have done.
Yeah.
We've already covered Mont. We already we watched that music video when we were doing build up.
Jongeup had a solo that we watched.
Jongeup had a solo, and I'm not going into each of the 24 o'clock didn't.
24
make a
didn't
group,
exist.
so it's fine.
So yeah.
So the other 4 groups, we're gonna watch their music videos. Great, sounds fun.
Yeah.
BAE 173 has released 1 music video between the time peak time ended and
right now.
Monday when I went through the list.
Oh my God.
1.
Was it like their full, it was one comeback? It was like a whole group?
1.
Oh my God. It's crazy.
And it's not, I want to be so clear, it is not because they're not talented, right?
Yeah.
Like, they don't have, like, there's, no one's in the army,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Right.
there's no reason other than shitty management
Yeah.
not allocating funds to this group that they've created.
Yeah.
And because of that, people are stuck in contracts that they can't get out of. So now they're like, I'm being paid to do nothing.
And I'm not even being paid to like, I can't even like take this money, I think, and like whatever.
And I
you know
don't
what I mean?
like to be like, you know, make them work more because a lot of idols are completely overworked
Yes.
as it is. They probably most groups should not be releasing 2 albums a year.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yes.
Okay? Let's just say it.
ZB1, we love them, but
We
they
love
should
them.
not have done 2 back-to-back
No,
albums
it's
in like
crazy.
3 months. That's crazy.
I'm worried
to
for
go
their
into
health.
a tour.
Correct.
That's crazy.
Correct. There's no excuse for not releasing anything. Period.
Period. Even after a successful run on a show as a group.
They literally got 4th place. What are we talking about?
doing?
They went on this tour. Like, they had fans. People were voting. What are you talking? So anyway, that's that.
I feel bad for them.
I feel sick.
Well, did you I'm not keeping this in. But there's like deep lore for hangyul too. Because he's like an orphan.
I hope whoever makes decisions over there at that
And
studio
Miss Doll. And that's the thing. This company
never has a good night's sleep.
This
That
company
is the curse I wish
has
upon you.
already done us dirty once.
Yes.
By a trainee who we've watched twice now in 2 shows.
Insane.
Oh my God.
We're moving on, but
We're
that's
moving
what I needed to say about Miss Girl.
Them. They're
I
not
won't
the
even.
dolls.
I'm not going to even say the name.
They're not the dolls. You will never be one of the dolls.
You are never.
You will never.
You will never be a doll.
You'll never be a
Miss
doll.
Pocket. Should we talk about DKB? DKB?
DKB.
Fun.
They do a really good job in the show too. Shocking to no one.
Yeah.
My big revelation in DKB.
Another bear.
Another bear.
Is that who you're going to say?
Ooh, no, I was gonna say Loon.
Oh my God.
Where
Loon,
do they find these men?
where are we finding these men? Loon is.
Where do they find these men?
Loon is.
Loon looks like
Loon 8? Loon is.
Loon literally looks like a
But also, Loon 8.
Loon did eat. Loon fucking Harry June. Like, what are we doing? They
Crazy.
Where do you
D1
find
be
these
the
people?
one?
D1 be the one? And Yang
Yeah.
Haseyo? Like, where do you find these people? They are so
They're so good. I think for me, they did not get songs that were
Totally.
worked for them.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I think their like audition song was like
What's the closest
their
one?
their best one.
And they like, I think not that they didn't do poorly in them, but I don't think they fit. I couldn't feel like I found what their true personality is on stage.
Right. Also, they have a lot of them. There's a
Yeah,
lot of them.
that's true.
Is there 9?
Because I did. I think
They're
so.
9. Yeah.
I did really like Coca Colada. That's probably my favorite performance of them. But it was because I was able to like see them be goofy, and I think they have a goofy side to them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think their performance style is way more mask.
That's fine.
Yeah. That I don't think it lets them be goofy.
I should have loved Coca Colada, but I unfortunately thought it was just fine.
Oh, okay.
I think they are more of a dance group than they are
totally.
a vocal group.
Yeah. They have one like main vocalist, Teo, who was in that fucking stupid, and by stupid I mean amazing gym segment.
Oh, yes. He was going to the book club.
The book club.
Mm-hmm.
I want to check these books out, honey. Boing. I didn't talk about in Bay 173. Jaemin
Oh.
is in a BL.
Mm-hmm. Love Class 2.
Love Class 2. And every girly watching Peak Time with us was like, you guys got to check it out.
They said it's good.
So we may.
It's better than Love Class 1.
And there's going to be a Love Class 3.
And there's going to be a Love Class 2. So we can only assume it's going to get better.
Yeah. All things just keep getting better.
Sevenus.
Sevenus.
Mask to Sevenus.
Mask to Sevenus, yes.
Vocalists.
If I was watching this live,
That would have been your group.
I think that would have been who I was voting for. It definitely would have been between them and Vayner, for sure. I would be going back and forth
Yeah,
between the two
I
of
thought
them.
about this a lot. I think
But I think they are the right top two.
I would have been all in on 23 o'clock.
I know.
And so when they left, I would have been. I mean, I was already mad.
Totally.
And it happened a year ago.
Yeah. I would have been crushed, yeah. You specifically, because you know what? Chamomile, I think, is one of the best performances in the whole show.
Mama, don't even start with me. Okay, I was going to save this. And
Yeah.
we will talk
still
about
talking about-
7S, I swear to God.
Yeah.
If I was to give an MVP of the
whole
whole
show,
show,
it's Karam.
my favorite performer is Karam.
Wow.
It is like,
Wow.
it is that energy and vocals
Uh-huh.
is exactly what I want to see on stage all the time in
All the
front of
time.
my eyeballs.
Yeah.
It is not even just that it's like
not just
bright.
his voice. It's like his energy.
Oh my God.
He
his smile,
smiles.
in Shine when he does like,
Yeah.
he like pout. It's just, this
He
is
is a
someone who's
performer.
just having fun on stage.
Yes.
Which is so crazy as someone who had watched him do Happy Endings Romance and was like, he's the saddest,
He's the saddest
most
sack.
blah energy person I've ever
know.
seen.
Crazy.
Could not believe what I was seeing.
Could not believe it.
And also, like, he's like 30, I think, or whatever.
Yes, he's
32.
like 90. Yeah, he's like 93, 92, I think.
Yeah.
Something
and
like
he
that.
looks like he's like
He looks
24.
Yeah.
It's
He looks like a baby.
sick.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're talking about 7S now.
See how, okay. I don't
Hee
If
You wanna talk
I
about
got to pick
vocals?
about an MVP, I think I would have picked TJ throughout.
That is his natural
That
gift.
is-
He sounds like that. He wakes up and he sounds like that. It's
I
absolutely
know,
crazy.
I know. When he first said Yobuseo, I had chills.
Full body chills.
Full body chills.
Yeah.
And like Ida is also an amazing singer. And they complement
good.
each
And
other
they-
so well.
And the judges kept being like, Ide, it feels like you're really starting to get better at your singing. And I was like, no,
Diva.
Hije is so good that it's like, oh,
right. There's another. You sing too.
you also
you've
are
been
singing. And if Ide was by himself, they'd be like, wow, incredible vocals.
Totally.
Yeah.
They are. They have it. They really do. I mean, like
they have
it's
it.
crazy that they didn't even.
What do they have?
It's crazy that they didn't come in with the intent of like being a duet. They get to tell a little package. Like their leader was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Luo's already in another group. So, and they were both like, I think I still want to do this. So they just do it. And
their Wikipedia page is crazy because it's fully like 2016 they released music. Then there is a huge gap until 2023 when they release new music. It's bonkers. It's amazing.
It's crazy because they have that talent. Like Hije's voice. I am surprised that he is not like an Imujin. Do you know what I mean? Like he is not, because I think like generations of people in Korea would be like, wow,
people
that's
need to listen to this man. This past Saturday on our Patreon, we watched Jongeup.
Yes.
From ATEEZ do the Lee Mujin service. And I complained, people are not talking about Jungkook's vocals. I'm sure people are talking about Jungkook's vocals,
but to Adam,
the problem is that everyone should be talking about Jungkook's vocals, Hije's vocals, Karam's vocals, bitsaeon's vocals, Taewon's vocals. People should be talking about these vocals in a day-to-day People should know.
Hey,
when I say Taewon, they're like,
Taewon from Banner. Yes,
Banner,
of course. Voice, yeah.
The voice. He's got the voice, Curtis.
He's got the voice, Curtis.
That's what should be happening. And the fact that it's not enrages me. Genuinely. That's all.
I'm excited that we get to watch what people have done, how they've done after, because he is the one, like him and Ire are like, because they're so like handsome. They're like also older.
Yes. And I don't know, there's something about Hije that really does give me David. And so I'm like, oh.
He does. It is.
Yeah.
And Ire looks like a fucking like
model.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Like he looks like a K-drama.
That like straw blonde hair actually like really works.
And like the long. Like,
yeah.
I love that it's long.
Yeah.
Oof. Let's talk about Vanner.
Let's talk about the
Miss
girls.
Vanner. The girls.
I want to say this. They do get this package at the beginning of the show.
Right. That they're like.
We've already talked about. Where they're like, they're all part-time workers, blah, blah, blah. And it is the most heartstring pulling thing.
Totally.
I think we cried, didn't we?
Because it's like. But it's I mean, like the judges cried too.
Yeah.
There is a level of like, wow, it's so sad that you have to do this. But it's like. That's the like sheen of being a creative or like a musician or whatever. If you're doing something in the arts, you don't think about the like, it's the work aspect of it. Like it's a job.
Right.
You know, and like a lot of people who do their creative work are like, this is a part-time thing. You know what I mean? Like, and like, I think with the idols, like you don't think about it in that way, but like I'm sure a lot of those people, a lot of the contestants are like, oh yeah, I've picked up shifts while I've been a trainee or like I've debuted. Like it's probably really common.
Well, especially for like K-pop fans, it's so easy to get swept into the like the big four groups, and so they're really established, and so they exist in their practice rooms, in their dorms.
Yep.
And that's
they get driven around.
They don't have other things they do.
But for groups like Vanner, or like even when we talked about Ace and Build Up, like they're driving themselves to the gigs.
Yeah.
We're busking.
Yep.
I gotta clock out because I have to start recording, you know, like we rented out the dance studio to practice and we only get tonight. You know, like these like more logistical things that we obviously don't think about.
The minor leagues.
Yes.
I mean, like
just to make it happen.
It's a gauche way to say it, but like it's so strange because obviously the K-pop market is completely saturated. There's so many groups. There's so many artists.
So it's hard to break out.
So it's super hard to break out. So many companies hopefully
would hope
trying
that,
their
like,
best
yeah.
to help these groups break out. So it's because it's such a regional
Yeah.
media market that has exploded
Yeah.
internationally.
Yeah. And no one's prepared.
No one was like anticipating that was going to happen.
Yeah.
And so it is funny to be like, oh, because like obviously there's an equivalent in like even in American music market, like you have like your Olivia Rodrigo's, your
Yes.
Sabrina Carpenter's, blah blah blah, but then you have like Chappell Roan 7 months ago, right? Like
Right.
who was just a person making music and also had to be like, and I also have to do other things because
and I have to work
I
here
can't
too.
subsist on this.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see kind of like a group actually go through the
You get to see that
nothing
part.
to something.
Yes. Yeah.
Not that they are
Nothing.
nothing
Well, that's the
in
thing.
terms of their value.
That's the thing. They have this full story and then they perform. And you're like, wow, they have it.
They literally do this package, and you're like, it's either going to be the best performance
thing,
we're going to see,
or it's going to be sad.
Or it's going to be bad.
And they do Adore You, which is like already a beloved song.
Sure.
And they are explosive on stage. Like they look so happy to perform. They're just happy to be there.
It's like a perfect Idol performance.
Yeah.
It is not like the most incredible art I've ever seen, if that makes sense.
Right.
But it's exactly what it needs to be.
Yes.
And they hit all the like it's like executed perfectly.
That's the thing. Even with almost no resources, they can match a performance that you would see in a music show.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep. 100%.
They get an all pick. They all start crying. Hyesung is like bawling over.
It's so
sweet. We love when they cry because they're like, but like crying.
Because it's important to see yourself on screen as someone who cries a lot.
But it was just kind of like this pure elated joy, and like then they basically are like Sunghan Bin for the rest of the show.
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
and well deserved. I don't think they ever have a bad performance.
No.
Truly. Like
their
Love
weakest
Killa was
performances are when they're not together.
when they're not together in the units,
which is almost like it's poetry.
It has been. They've all had those 5. Really have had it for the since debut.
Yeah. What do you
They
think
just
is
need
their
an
best
opportunity.
performance? Oh, well, we'll go into that, I guess.
When I think their best performances, I think looking back, I think Skyscraper was for me my favorite.
I think
because-
they were so lucky they got that song.
yes, because
Can you imagine any other group having to do that song?
Because
Who
Taewon
would have sang
Taewon had all of these riffs. ASEAN had like this low, like super low lines, and like the choreo was cunty.
and Gone is
Gone is like,
amazing.
oh my god! And then we got to hear him talk in like the segments that they have in the like elimination episodes, and
He's a yapper.
he's a yapper.
And
He's kind of like a little dorky. Like he's kind of like a
yeah, it's cute.
yeah.
And he had braces on at the
And he
time,
had braces
so
on.
it
I
was very
think he
charming.
still has his braces on.
Oh, still?
Yeah, I think so.
Should we go into our performances?
Let's rank.
We're gonna do some data.
Okay.
Okay. Now our PBS NewsHour Marist poll. Okay, so RJ and I went through and we ranked every single performance.
Single
of the show.
performance.
And there's a lot. There are 66 performances on this
Yeah.
show.
That's
That
the thing.
is not including the audition songs for the single
Oh,
ones
yes, the solos?
to make the 24-hour.
Yeah.
And that is not including like the last 3 songs,
The special
from,
stages?
from the finale either.
And technically the groups that got a new song but were eliminated, their dance practices were released also.
Yep, didn't do
online.
those either.
If you're a person who genuinely loves survival show performances,
Yeah.
and you're maybe not into the drama a lot, like the drama may stress you out, you just want to see good performances, this is a show to watch.
This is a here's your top 10 of what you can watch.
Yeah.
Okay?
At 10.
Number 10, Criminal. This was performed by Team 13 O'Clock, aka BAE 173. This was their original
This is
song.
their original song.
It was very vampire coded.
They do the crouch down.
Yeah.
Watching this back, I was like, oh, I think I liked it more in the rewatch.
I liked it better in the rewatch
I liked it
too.
better
Wow,
in the rewatch.
crazy.
Yeah. I really think they probably could have done the costuming differently. I don't think the costuming was like, I understand what they were trying to go for with the werewolf, but I think it's a little too busy. And I wish they kind of like made it cleaner.
Oh, it was werewolves, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
not
not
vampires.
vampires. Yeah.
There's blood.
There's blood. Some are like super bloody and then some are not.
Yeah. The costuming is weird. It's the new songs were hit or miss.
Yeah. Some were really good and some were just fine.
Yeah.
There was not like a bad new
No
song.
bad. No bad.
They were
But just
fine.
some were fine.
Yeah.
And because they were, I almost wish they had assigned them.
I know.
Because while I understand that there is like the level of, well, then it seems like the producers have a hand in it. Like, I think some people ended up with songs that didn't fit who they are.
Yeah.
And I think it's smart, right? Like Vanner, one of the things that is incredible about Vanner's run on the show is they do like 5 different concepts.
Yeah.
And they nail each one.
They nail each one.
So
it
there
proves.
is something about you should be able to do all these different
Yeah.
things. And some groups I don't think are as easily versatile in that way that they can like move to other. But that's fine too, because I think if you have like a set kind of thing, anyway, that's how I feel. But that was the Kingdom critique from the beginning too.
Totally.
Number 9, Chamamale from Team
Wow,
23
number 9?
O'Clock. Yeah.
I thought it would be higher because I really like Chamamale.
It's in the top 10 of 66 songs, RJ.
Yes. Karam is amazing in this, right?
This is okay.
Pink
guys,
beret, obviously.
Whatever French person made the first beret in 1394 or whatever, we all just waited around for centuries until Karam wore this pink beret and we could finally realize what the true Aristotelian ideal of the beret
Capital
was.
B beret.
Capital B beret. This is what every beret should aspire to be. It is perfectly like just asymmetrical, placed on the back of the hat. He looks so cute. I want this like I want this on my tombstone.
Yeah.
I want a picture of him on my tombstone.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, wow, look at this cute Asian man that died. And they'd be like, oh no,
Diva, it's worse.
It's worse. It's actually crazier than that.
It's actually crazy that. I love this performance. Jay like also was like so amazing in his dancing.
Yes.
And Karam, there's the part where he goes like he like riffs up and then continues into a belt.
It's
in the like
sick.
bridge.
He's
It was
too good.
crazy.
He's too good at this. It's crazy watching him. He is my MVP of the show. Number 8 is Skyscraper.
Yeah, I mean, Taewon doing but then also the super cunty choreography.
Yeah.
And then like
The song is good too.
and the skin tight pants.
Skin tight those shirts are like suctioned to their bodies.
The entire time I was like, I'm just watching Youngkwang's thighs. Like they are bulging out. God. And the song, it's not about a skyscraper. They talk about an erect structure, but it's not about a building, diva.
But they're office workers, RJ. Can I tell you, guys? I was watching it today, and that's when I put together that's why they were in office
Skyscraper.
outfits.
Yeah.
I was like,
corporate era.
why are they corporate
girls?
Vanner? Because it's Skyscraper.
It's skyscraper.
It's an office building.
Yeah. It's an office romance. It's June and June.
It's the new employee.
It's the new employee. Put Taewon in a damn BL.
Put Taewon in a BL, you sick,
fucks.
Number 7, another Vanner performance. This is Love Killa. Love Killa, Love Killa,
I mean,
Love Killa.
So that was, I think we ranked it high because we came from
well, because they absolutely gagged us.
they absolutely gagged us with a
near kiss.
near kiss. And famously, Gon is like, oh yeah, it's fan service, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm a fan.
And I'm eating it up,
and
girl.
I'm thrilled to be serviced.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Compliments to the chef.
Yes, absolutely.
Could I actually talk to the chef? I love this meal.
Yeah. Delicious.
Yeah.
Mashisoyo.
Mashiso. 맛있어요.
Number 6 is Team 23 Mirotic.
I mean, dare I say one of the best auditions, period.
One of the best ever.
Ever.
They came in. This is like nearly a perfect performance.
Yeah.
It's insane how good this performance is.
Yeah.
I have like no notes.
No.
Really.
It's something that I will frequently watch.
I have watched it multiple times since then. In fact, I sent it to Ari and was like,
really?
you
We'll
have to watch
these
this.
adults.
And she was like, oh, wow. And I was like, yeah, it's good. Next is, this is top number 5. We've got Vanner again. It's Prime Time. Their finale song.
Their finale song. Now, looking back, I think I still did like Skyscraper a little bit more, but this felt like such a perfect finale song.
It's a perfect Vanner finale.
They were like, this is it. They
were the brightest of the 6 songs.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that even though I wouldn't be like, oh, Vanner's a bright group. Like they just have a brighter energy.
Yes.
So it like really worked in their favor too. So for all the girlies who were like, oh, you never want to see your faves do a bright concept at the end because that means they're not going to win.
Girl, Park Gun-up, girl.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he's like the only one from that team that made it.
Oh, Jelly Pop?
Yeah.
Well.
Number 4 is Bang. The
Which bang? There were 2 bangs. The dance bang or
the dance bang?
Oh, girl group bang. Okay, dance bang. Let's go theater. So you think you can dance energy?
The 4 dance numbers are my favorite numbers in the show.
Okay, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's
up there.
They're up there.
Yeah.
They're definitely up there.
Uh-huh.
This one is so good. I mean, this is full. You're having fun. It tells a story. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it was nice to see them be creative with it because they had to come up with, they came up with
yes,
the choreography.
and there's a ton of them.
And there's a lot of them.
And it doesn't feel like I'm losing people.
No, it felt intentional.
Mm-hmm.
It truly felt like a dance crew.
Yeah.
Like telling a story.
It's great. It's a really good performance. Number 3 is Bad. Anything you want to say about Bad, RJ? Anything you want to say about Bad?
Okay. Despite the hotness, Moon Jongeup is a fucking phenomenal dancer.
Yes.
There were moments in the dance number that I was just like, we were saying, like, he's so good. Like, he does these isolations so crisp. Like, his head is separate from his body.
Every muscle moves independently of every other. It's
to service,
insane.
like, music. It's crazy.
It's insane.
I do think after watching it, I was like, wow, they just got so lucky with this group. They have hangyul, they have jongeup.
Hangyul in this number.
In this fucking
people are sleeping on hangyul in this number.
Hangyul is so fine in this number.
He's so hot in this number.
He's so hot in it.
It's so crazy.
And they have 3 Vander members in the middle.
Yes. Gon is amazing in this.
Gon, Haesung, and Youngkwang are so good in it.
Everyone is
Our
hot.
sister Inno, who had the whole story. It's like, I haven't danced this severe in years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why am I doing this? Blah, blah, blah. I feel like I don't belong here. And he, my sister kept up.
8.
Yeah.
Everyone is so good.
Cohesive. Just commands
Smart.
the stage.
Yeah.
The body tea.
The bodies.
The body tea was piping hot.
The insanity.
It was just like,
what sick costuming person was like, I know what I'm going to do.
I know what I will do.
So number 2 and number 1 are both your 2 highest. You gave them both 5s. My highest was Bang. Number 4. I gave it a 4.9.
Wow.
Okay. Number 2 is Noir.
This was the Mont.
This is Mont's finale
song
performance. Yes.
And I called it a James Bond theme because that's literally what it's giving.
Yes.
It gives, yeah. bitsaeon. Bitsaeon is just so good in this. Rona does a really good job too. They both are really good, but it is the first time I was like, this feels like a finale. Like this is the culmination of like them working hard this entire time to create a performance that isn't just like a vocal and a rap and it's fun. It's like well thought of. It's so polished. It's so sharp. Like having the backup dancers filling the whole thing, and the song is so interesting. It's so good. The song is so epic.
And I really want to say that I don't think every song is a 10 out of 10, but every song is different than the other original songs.
Yeah.
So like the six, especially in the finale, the top 6 songs, none of them are in the same genre at all.
Totally.
Which is like, that's what you need.
That's what you want.
You don't want to have anyone too close together.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
I
is
really like
cool.
It's been my favorite. And like I like build up. Well, obviously, like bitsaeon was able to do like more genres as he got further and further in the show.
Right.
But like this felt like so like a step above what they've done in peak time. That it was like it just felt like at the right time that it was their finale song because it was like their way of showing like we can do like it could be a mama.
Right.
Like in a sense of like putting a concept and like putting a performance together.
Yeah, Noir did give Mama. For sure.
Noir gave Mama.
And finally, our number 1 performance of the show.
His performance is probably the best thing in the whole show.
Anyone have any guesses? This is My C.
It is Kim Bora's song from Queendom Puzzle that they went back in time to cover.
IU's song.
Yeah. There is a reason why this song keeps being sung at every fucking survival show that we watch.
This is the way the song starts. The way Heejay starts the song
Heejay
is chilling.
Is chilling.
I cried
when I was
rewatching it. It's so impactful. It's so moving. It's like a magical. It reminded me a lot of Build Up, obviously.
Yes.
All 4
the magic
of the
of
songs.
Build Up. Yeah.
From the vocal challenge
vocals.
did.
Yeah, totally.
But this one specifically is like there's some intense tight harmonies that happen like halfway through this. It's just
like so beautifully
done. It's perfect.
And the vocal MVP that won this round is Junsong from Ghost 9. He does he's basically the main the chorus parts. But he has like head voice and belting in it that he keeps going back and forth, that just mixes back and forth. And I'm like, Junsung's TikTok is like all covers like of ballads.
I'm going to go immediately listen to it. This RJ, you really have opened me up to our next segment, which is we're now going to say what our 3 picks for the unit or the union rounds would have been.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start and I'll do my 3. So for my vocals, it would have been Junsong.
Yeah.
From Ghost 9.
Yes.
In My C.
In My C. And
specifically, I chose each of my 3. There's one specific thing. I chose a moment that I was like, this is why I'm picking them. Because they're all good. Like they're all good singers, right? It is the way he throws away his lines at the end is so.
I know.
It would not work for every song, right?
Yeah,
but it is perfect for My C.
Yeah.
It is. It is heartbreaking. And it's like you can I can't even talk about it. It's too good.
This song, I'm serious. I might listen to every single cover of this song. I might make a Apple Music playlist of just My C and all of its covers.
It's so good.
This song is so
It's so good. You popped off.
You really did the damn thing.
You really did the damn thing, girl. Who is your vocal?
Junsong.
It is also Junsong?
Yes. It was going to be between Junsong or Heejay. Because
Heejay is
so
also
good.
incredible in that
so
song.
good. Like also like, but because
But he kind of takes a back seat
yes,
in that number.
I think to let because I think he knows that like this is gonna be my thing all season anyway,
Right.
And this is an
He
opportunity.
didn't even want to do vocals originally.
He wanted to be a dancer, but he wanted this. I think like this is such an opportunity for all the other people to
And
like be
can we
vocalists.
just say
And actually,
that
Luo was
group,
really it's a
the
good group.
D group was the like leftovers group.
Yeah.
And so it was the group that everyone was like, oh, well, they're definitely not going to win. And so it was like also this, you know, the underdog story,
Yeah.
right? Like nobody thought they could do it and they kind of nail it. So
Yeah. This was also the moment that like Luo and Heejay and Ire got to reunite in a song too. And like when they asked them, like Luo just like broke down.
Right, yeah. It's
so beautiful.
It's so
Like,
beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
I really can't say it enough.
No.
It's incredible. I'll do my rapper next. So I picked
Okay.
from Dang 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 Shiu from the rookie group 24K.
We called him Baby J-Hope because he kind of had like
He has J-Hope energy.
J-Hope
so
energy.
again, I
Yeah.
picked a very specific moment, and
Yes.
there's the part at the end of his verse when he goes like, and it's like, I don't know. I know that that's not why you're supposed to pick someone
Right.
like who's great at
But
rapping,
it's-
but I'm losing a lot in translation anyway,
Yeah.
right?
But that's part of like the whole performance, especially in rap, where it's like it's all about the persona, the energy,
And
the
those
swagger.
those four are four different rap
Yes,
songs.
that's what I really
it
liked
was
about
so
the
smart.
performance.
Yeah.
Because they all have
The
their
first
own.
one, because they do My Bag is like a
Yes.
cipher,
Yeah.
almost like it's
Yes,
amazing.
it is
It's
like a
so
cipher.
cool.
Oh my God,
yeah,
you're
it's so
right.
cool.
Yeah.
And this is like, you know, kind of like rowdy teen energy.
Yes.
You have the really emotional one,
Uh-huh.
and then there's that other one.
No, I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were in like the hanboks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the name of the emotional one? It's like My Time Will Come or whatever.
It is If I Die Tomorrow.
If I Die Tomorrow. Okay. Oh, If I Die Tomorrow. So my rap MVP was from If I Die Tomorrow.
I thought about him.
Junsok from 5 o'clock, ATBO. He was the one that had like the really long, like the really emotional
Really
verse.
long verse about his grandpa.
About his career.
It's a
I
way,
was crying re-listening to it.
the way you don't even speak the language and you can hear it.
The like pain, the disappointment, how like he's sorry, but also like he is like look at where I am now. You know,
It is a beautiful performance. That honestly, I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of the time, rap, especially in K-pop specifically, gets shunted into this corner
Yeah.
of like, oh, it just has to be cool.
Yeah.
And there's so much. I mean, rap is just poetry.
Yes.
So it's crazy to really kind of force it into this one specific thing that it has
Yeah.
to be, because that's what's incredible about it is it's able to be more evocative almost than music is,
Yes.
because it's just the way you play with language and
Play
really,
with language. It's poetry
Right.
and like it's so
Rhythm,
raw.
yeah.
And also because you get to it's like it's displayed or like it's through like a harder edge sound from men or like, you know, like really like hard
Yeah.
like female rappers, and they're talking about such deep poetic things.
Right.
Like that clashing together
Yeah.
makes it so it like just makes it so good.
But there's not a lot of rap and K-pop where you go, wow, that's really beautiful.
beautiful
But
and deep, yeah.
this is an example of it for sure.
Totally.
Yeah. And so my final pick.
Dude, okay, this was tough. I could not
Who is your dance?
narrow it down.
Pick one.
It would have been from Bad.
It would have been from Bad.
It would
Okay.
have been for Bad.
Okay. Are you gonna say jongeup?
No.
Are you gonna say hangyul?
Yes.
Yeah, he's so hot in it. It's crazy.
Even though jongeup like
and it's not just that he's hot, but
no,
like God
but
doesn't
even
help.
though he is technically like jongeup like is technically like amazing. Like everyone is, but like hangyul just like it's like he is in character, like he is in a character. He was on that stage. It's like you don't want to mess with me.
The only thing I have
sexy.
about hangyul, my one note,
Yeah.
my criticism,
Your criticism.
is that like he's so good. I almost feel bad for the rest of the BAE 173 members because I'm like, but I'm just watching hangyul. Yeah.
It was so yeah. I ended up picking hangyul.
Yeah.
Who was your dance MVP?
So it's from Bang.
Oh, is it?
And it is. There is no way you're.
Is it from NTX?
Nope.
No.
It is also from. It's also from 24K. It is Yuma.
Yuma.
So there's this very specific part in the dance when he like does the very classic like face wipe and he like changes his facial expression, and it is such. The whole song is so much fun to watch.
Yes.
It's probably the highest energy number in the entirety of all 66 performances. It is like them. It's fun. It's a little funny.
Yes.
It's like really, it's so great to watch. And he matches that energy so well and does this like, and I don't know, right? I don't know if it's his decision. I don't know if it's a choreographer's decision or something,
PD,
but like, it's just so perfect for what the song is.
Yeah.
And I remember watching it the first time we watched it and I like laughed.
Yes, yeah.
I was rewatching, I screamed because I remembered how good it was. That was
when you screamed.
When I screamed, that was why I was screaming. It is such I can't pick any. He made me scream. Like, I can't pick anyone else.
That's
like,
true.
There are so many good dancers in the show.
Yeah.
And so many people I could have picked, but like no one else made me scream.
And the, like 24K story of like they're a group that have been around forever, but this is like 5 brand new members. 2 of the members straight out of Japan, like didn't speak Korean yet, basically when they did the show.
Yep.
And like, I know we didn't include the special stages, but
their special stage is amazing. At the end
they sing step by step at the end. It's like the one bright song in the new songs
because they had given them a new that was their new song they got.
And Yuma is in this full pink with like his rosy cheeks, and he's just like performing Hassan
It's
Boots.
perfect.
And I'm just like,
Shiu, like when they don't make it, like breaks down.
like, yeah.
You know,
so passionate.
But like Shiu is so like go back and just watch Shiu's performances.
Yeah.
He's kind
great.
of incredible.
Yeah, no, totally.
And like for a group that is a rookie group, like they just got debuted.
Started. Yeah.
He's amazing.
It's
so cool.
He's got such like grit when he like raps.
Yeah.
This show was great. Okay. Let's rank it in our survival shows.
Okay.
I do think Boys Planet, even though it was like, I don't think it was perfect, right? I don't think it was a perfect show.
No.
But I think they got really lucky with that cast.
That cast is crazy.
They got really lucky with, I would say the top 24, like up until, like the
like the top like 40 are incredible.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So they got really lucky with that cast. And I think that's why I would still kind of rank it up high. I still don't know how rewatchable it is. I just don't know, if I want to rewatch it really. Right. But like I could see myself rewatching And Audition. I could see myself rewatching Peak Time.
I would never rewatch And Audition's finale.
I would stop it.
3 hours of speeches. I will not do that again ever.
I think Peak Time might be my 2. And Audition 3. I think the added element of the stories that the groups came in with and how they were able to stretch it out, and that the quality of performances are just like really well produced and well thought of. I think in my top, I don't know what I said last time, but I think now looking back, I think in my top I have
I think both Build Up and Peak Time, because I think I like them having established like talent.
Yeah.
Not in a way where they have to have names necessarily, but like nobody's baking.
Yeah.
Nobody needs to bake.
Totally.
Then I would say And Audition, then Island 1 Part 2, then Island 2 Part 1. Then the opposite of both of those. And then Queendom Puzzle. The 23 o'clock really pissed me off.
Really bums me out.
Yeah. That's like kind of
If
that hadn't happened, it probably would have been my favorite.
yeah,
I don't even know where to put Boys Planet in that list.
I genuinely don't even
It
know where to
feels
put
so-
Boys. It's so not even from like a it's a better show than everyone, but it just
No.
felt like a moment in time that like you can't recapture. And I think like survival shows will try to recapture that, and I don't think they can.
Well, Mama,
Planet B, who
Planet B,
knows?
Mama.
Who knows? Maybe Planet B. Our Patreon shows is done.
Yep,
We're in search
It's
for a
done.
new Patreon show.
we're on the search. We're on the hunt. We are not making the decisions anymore. So what we're watching. So this was our Patreon show that we recapped. Patreon, our Bob tier. Okay, we've got berets, we've got bows, we've got bobs. Our Bob tier is going to make our choice for us. So next Monday, when the tiers roll out, it's $10 a month. You can vote, and then you get a weekly show that we will watch, and then you'll do a recap at the end.
Yeah.
And if you're interested, but you're like, oh, I don't know if I can pay all that, that's fine. If you join the bow level, which is the $7 level, you will be able to see all of our reactions when the recap for the Patreon show comes out. So you can binge it, basically.
Yeah.
It's a bingeable moom.
And if you're like,
You just can't vote.
Yeah. You just can't vote. You just are not voting. And if you're like, I'm just here for Zero Base One for reactions.
I'm just here for K-pop.
I'm just here for K-pop.
Artist of the Month.
Artist of the Month.
Great. Join the beret
Join
level.
the berets. That's what the berets are for.
Yep.
So the power is up to you. Vote early, vote often.
Mm-hmm. Anything.
We're open. Yeah, we're not even
open.
tying down to departments anymore.
We're not tying down to department.
We're
You could make us watch. Oh God, I was thinking of really bad examples.
I mean, I think we've already named some things, right? Like there are 2 new survival shows that are coming out with people in peak time.
Mm-hmm.
There was someone in peak time that had a BL.
There's BL. Oh,
There's
yep.
new BLs.
We could
too.
watch Love Class 2.
We could watch Love Class 2. Could be fine.
That feels like a show that would be like a good Patreon
fun Patreon
show. I
show,
don't know if
yeah.
it's a weekly recap show.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know. But
Yeah. So
maybe you're like, you have to watch Girls Planet. I'm sorry.
we're making you do it. You can make us do it. You can make us watch hangyul's other survival shows that he was in.
You can say it's time to watch some women. It's time to watch
Girls on Fire.
From Us 9. From Us 9's show.
Yes. Idol School.
Idol School.
Twice. Make us watch the show that formed twice.
We could
16.
You
That's what
could
it's
make us watch, what was the JYP one?
Loud.
And then we can finally be ready for whenever JYP debuts that group 5 years later. or
Yeah,
whatever.
whenever that'll be.
Jesus God.
So the power is up to the Bobs. Cunty Bob.